to my kitchen, and this is basically a two-part video. This is my scalloped potatoes, and the other part is going to be my grilled ribs. Okay. I believe the scalloped potatoes will be coming out before the ribs, but it just depends on what I get put up first. So you'll see both videos. Just
y'all remember hee haw? This kind of reminds me of, hey, Grandpa. Y'all remember what that is?
Oh yeah. So I'm just going to tell you right now. This is a half of a recipe. What I've got here is half of the recipe.
Probably still be more than we could eat in a few days.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how much the whole recipe is and the half recipe. But I'm just going to tell you what I have on hand right now, and then I'll tell you what the whole recipe is. Okay, I have a half a cup of milk, a fourth of a cup of whipping cream. Okay, and all total, this is my extra sharp white cheddar cheese. You can use yellow cheese, it's up to you. But all total, I have 3/4 of a cup plus 1.5 tablespoons. And here I've divided it out, and I have 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons in this bowl here. And then the remainder is in this bowl here. Yeah, now my mind ain't working on how to figure all that out because I was on the computer even trying to figure out divisions and everything on the...
As this thing goes along, y'all put it together.
Yeah. I have 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I've got a half a cup of Monterey Jack total. This is 1/4 of a cup, and this is 1/4 of a cup, and that's Monterey Jack cheese. Okay. Then 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Here I have 1 1/4 pounds of potatoes that have been sliced about 1/4 of an inch thick.
We used mandolin on that.
Yeah. I have 1 cup of sliced onions, and I have a tablespoon of fresh parsley. Okay. Now I will run down the ingredients on the full recipe. You need 1 cup of milk, half a cup of whipping cream, 1 2/3 cup of the extra sharp cheddar cheese, divided. You need a fourth of a cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 cup of Monterey Jack cheese, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 pounds of potatoes, 2 cups of sliced onion, and 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. Okay, so that's if you want to make the full recipe. Again, I'm making the half recipe. And you need a baking dish that has been lightly sprayed. And you need to set your oven temperature to 350 degrees.
All right.
Okay, in a medium bowl, combine your milk.
Oh boy, cream. Here come the dirty dishes.
Okay, milk and your cream. Let me get me a scraper up here, y'all. This will work. I don't like wasting any of this cream because that stuff is expensive.
Everything's expensive these days.
Yeah. Your salt and your pepper. Make sure the parsley goes in. Okay, this parsley goes over here with that. Okay. I was just making sure, y'all. There's my Worcestershire sauce. That stuff is thick because I was getting down to the dregs of my bottle. I don't waste that stuff, but that's fine. Ketchup. And I have to say, I've never seen ketchup in scalloped potatoes, but that's what this recipe calls for. That's what I'm doing. And then the cheddar and the Monterey Jack cheese. Okay. And then you whisk that together.
Whiskey. No, not JD or JB either.
No. And it says stir well and set aside. Well, I'm whisking a little bit, making sure it's well incorporated. You see that is well incorporated.
Yep.
All right, give Piggy the whisk. Okay, set aside. I've got a ladle for the next part of that. All right, now it says to take and layer half of your potatoes and onions in the bottom of the baking dish.
I got a feeling this ain't gonna take too long now that everything's been prepped up.
Like I said, the longest part is prep. Always prep.
Prep is 90% of anything you'll ever do.
Yeah. And I'm going to say that's probably about half of my potatoes right here. And I'll put about half of my sliced onion. Now, I already had a half an onion, and I just sliced it up. And this was roughly half of a medium onion that I had sliced. Okay. There you go. And then it says you put about half of the mixture on top of the potatoes and onions. Okay. That's the mixture.
Yeah, folks, I'm back here making notes.
Okay.
Y'all know what I'm doing.
And then you repeat the layers. You basically will have good 2 layers. Now, I'll admit, I've never made scalloped potatoes this way before. I have made scalloped potatoes with a different recipe. But this one sounded interesting. I've had this recipe a good 15, 20 years. Don't know where I got it. That's basically all my recipes. I don't know where I got any of my recipes, or most of my recipes. I know where I got some of them, but not all of them. Okay. Repeat layers, then do that.
That's the thing, though. It's all about trying things different ways and seeing if you like it. It's not a matter of do you like it better than what you're used to.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of is it better than what you're used to. Trying to be better than something. The only thing it is being better than you used to be.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Pour this right here out on top of that.
And in the meantime, you get to experience a lot of different flavors and foods and how they combine together and makes it exciting.
And I can tell you right now that there's no way that Piggy and I would have been able to have eaten the whole casserole as it was. I mean, move some stuff around.
We won't be able to eat this whole thing one set. We'll have to
I might have to
spread
freeze
that up over a few days.
that or freeze some of it. And I think it might freeze pretty good. I don't know. But what I'm doing is sprinkling the rest of the cheese on top. So that's Piggy.
Gimme.
Now, I'm using what the cheeses it called for. It just said extra sharp cheddar, which I'm assuming you can use any extra sharp cheddar you want. I use the New York style white. Then you sprinkle the parsley. And, but if you don't like Monterey Jack cheese, you could probably use Colby or whatever you want to use. I mean, that's the good thing about cooking and making it your own. You can put in it whatever you want to put in it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my timer moved up because this has to cook for 1 hour and 15 minutes covered. I'm getting my timer set up here at about 1 hour and 15 minutes so I can.
That's so you can be what they call being adventurous.
Yeah.
With your food.
All right, so let me get.
When Alyne and I got together, Piggy was not adventurous.
Piggy learned.
and still not to an extent.
All right, now we're gonna put this in the oven. This is my smaller casserole, so it fits in there right. And again, okay, so that's 1 hour and 15 minutes right there. Be back when that goes off, and then I'll finish up the recipe where it says to uncover and bake for an additional 20 minutes. See you then.
All
right, y'all, just took this out of the oven. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to set these back in the oven for another.
Well, look at all that steam coming up off of that.
It says an additional 20 minutes or until the potatoes are tender and cheese is browned. So I'm going to pop them in the oven for another 20 minutes and we'll see how they look.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the oven we go, y'all.
I bet they going to look real good.
I bet they are too. I bet they're going to taste real good too.
Got some parts of it on the aluminum foil. Stick it up there.
Yeah.
Kind of like stalactites or stalagmites or whatever.
All right, we're at 20 minutes here. And that means we have to go check the ribs for the other video.
Oh boy.
All right, y'all, here are my ribs. I've already cut them. Here is my scalloped potatoes. They both look really good. So I'm gonna
boy, I tell you folks, if this had smell-o-vision, y'all would be knocking yourselves out to get here. I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to put some potatoes on a plate for Piggy and for me. I'm not going to put a great lot. Piggy's already got my thumbnails for me, so we don't have to worry about waiting on that. We can just...
Well, look at them, folks. I got zoomed in on that, all that stuff. The torture is it. It's also got the ribs zoomed in on too.
I hope these ribs are good and tender. They look and smell good. They feel tender. There you go, Piggy. There's your plate. Here's mine.
You know, we gotta do this thing. See that look.
That powder stuff was really hot just out of the oven.
Well, I knew that.
I'm gonna buy this.
Not as good as the ribs, folks, but she likes it.
Her scalloped potatoes are really good.
Mm-hmm. They are real good. They just ain't ribs.
They're not ribs. Well, y'all, I want to thank y'all very much for joining us today on getting started in our grilling season and for my scalloped potatoes. And it's like I told you, this is only half a recipe of scalloped potatoes. So if there's only 2 or 4 of you, I would say this would be a perfect amount. So
in other words, the full recipe is meant for a get-together.
I would say it'd be meant for a get-together, yes. I can't see 4 people eating 2.5 pounds of potatoes.
Oh, no.
I mean, well, I know some people that could do it. Yeah, never mind. I can't go there.
We used to could back upon once upon a day.
Once upon a day. So, thank y'all for watching the video. Have a great day. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Where about